Hello and welcome back to Dumfries Ice Bowl for the third session of play in the English Mixed Doubles Championship. Tonight's featured game is Stuart Brand and Andrew Wilcox playing the Yellowstones against Owen Rees and Alan Martin playing the Bluestones. Both teams have played one game so far. Brand and Wilcox lost their first game to Fowler and Yege, and Rees and Martin won their first game against Pinnell and Andale. So Stuart Brand and Andrew Wilcox will be looking to get on the scoreboard here with a win. And they play in the Yellowstones. They didn't win the hammer. The hammer was won by Rees and Martin. We've played a few stones in this end already, and the blue stone at the back of the 4 foot is unmoved so far, and we have 2 yellow stones at the front of the 8 foot. So in fact the way to back blue is pretty much blocked almost. There may be a draw on the left hand side there, but it's now up to Rees and Martin to try and get a stone somewhere into the centre of the circle there. In fact, they've gone for a hit on the yellow, and they've more or less pushed the yellow into short almost. Not quite, still a blue shot there. But obviously trying to get rid of some of the yellows, give a better access to centre, but they just pushed it across the house. So it's Andrew Wilcox to play now, playing the yellows. I presume he's trying to get through to the blue at the back of the circles there. So the stone's on the way from the far end is a take-out shot, or is it the barrier weight shot from Angela, trying to thread the needle through to the back blue, I believe. It's coming through now, still running a bit wide. Is he going to catch the front guard? Oh, it just did, but it's pushed the yellow in. Oh, and that's the one way of getting your shot into the centre circle. Plan Z, I think that probably is, but so yellow now line shot right in the middle. The other game on tonight is Anna Fowler and Tom Jagey against Harry Pinnell and Mia Andel. And we'll keep you up to date with the score on that game throughout the evening. Oh, and that's a great double there from Owen. Again, as in the last game, a great double has managed to just roll out far enough so it doesn't actually lie second shot, but that's a great double there. Takes away both the yellows and leaves himself lying shot. So Stuart had to try and get this blue out of the way, I think. We hit and roll behind the guard up the front. But certainly that's the second double and roll which Owen has played in the last couple of games. We saw one in the last game against Harry Pinnell, Mia Andel, where he had the double and roll behind some guards. This time he just rolled a little bit too far, and I don't even think he's hanging on to the edge there, so the yellow on the right hand side of the screen is lying second shot. And Stuart there just caught in the guard at the front. Is he going to touch the yellow? No. And it's just out of play. So Owen is now line 1. And he's got last stone. So he will put it all in the house there for his 2. So it's Annabelle Martin throwing this last draw here. As you may know, if you follow mixed doubles, the one player plays the first stone and the 5th stone, and the other player plays the 2nd, 3rd and 4th stone. So there's Annabelle playing the 5th stone at the end, and it's coming in. That's a lovely draw there from her. Very good draw, and that's 2 stones to Reese and Martin to get them off the board. So that's a first attempted at draw round behind the guard by Annabelle. Just rubs the guard and rolls across into the circles. Could be a useful stone there for a 2nd or 3rd shot later on in the end. So a draw in there by Reese and Martin, which doesn't quite take the shot, and there's still a path in for Brandon Wilcox to come down onto the stone in the middle, or to just roll off the blue stone onto the top of the face of the yellow one. So a little bit of a pocket there for Brandon Wilcox to come into, make use of the stones to nestle against. Come down, that's tight, that's good, that's light and tight, that's wrecking on the guards and rolling across the guard, the left hand path into the circles. So I think Reese and Martin still got a path here on the intern side on the right hand side of the screen to come down, and similar shot that Brandon Wilcox was tried to get to the face of the yellow one behind the tee, or just roll off the blue one onto the face of the yellow one. A nice little cushion there for him to come into. So draw weight a little bit above would be a good shot here. Well, it was a good try, but a little bit extra weight. Didn't get the final curl at the end, get the draw at the end, and but it looks like blue is lying short now, just on the edge of the 1 foot circle there. So I'd imagine that Brandon Wilcox will try and take that out and perhaps roll across behind the guards, roll into the centre of the circle, fly 2. Doesn't need to be a heavy shot, just backswing weight will just roll off the blue. Shot I call a Rona Martin shot, very similar to the shot she played to win the Olympic gold medal in 2002. Just a flop shot off a stone in the 4 foot into the centre of the circle. Oh, and that one's caught tight again and is wrecking the guys. Pushing a yellow in this time. Another fortunate break there, but not quite. No, that was obviously very tight. That throw, it came right across and wrecked on the guard. And talking of Ronan Martin, when I was out in St Gallen at the European Championships last week, Ronan was there doing some commentary. And you may have heard her on the WCF TV doing some commentary on the European Championships. She has been at curling for quite a few years. She has been involved in Scottish Bowls, but that project is now finished, and she's now back into doing some work on the curling commentary and looking to find a new avenue for her talents. I mean, there's a shot here for Reese and Martin. If he can hit that yellow. Oh, he's coming quite across the draw. He's going to take his own out, is he? No, he's just missed it. He's got the shot. Ah, that's a good shot there. Line 2. So it looks as though Brandon Wilcox have to hit that yellow, and that may move the 2 shots. But I'm not sure their stones will stick around if they do. There's another 2 stones at the back of the 12 foot, which would probably count. Really depends the angle he hits the front yellow on. But it needs to be quite a heavy shot because the front blue's got a long way to roll to get out of the circle on the left-hand side. So there's quite a bit of draw on this ice. You saw that last stone of Reese and Martin. That stone drew across quite a long way, even at a decent weight. So there's quite a bit of draw in this hand coming down on the intern side. And obviously if you're a bit light, as you've seen, some of the stones have come right across and right in the guards. And and Owen is in the way. I can't see what's happening. And they've taken their own stone out. Oh dear. So Owen there lies 4, Reese and Wolf, Martin lie 4. They don't have last stone though. So you can put another one on top of those two. And then ask Stuart to draw the button basically to get a shot or to have a hit to cut down. There's a draw, I think, round on the out turn, past the centre guard into the forefoot, into the button on those stones. But at the moment it's looking a bit tricky for him to get more than, well, he can get more than one, but he's going to be struggling to have to maybe draw against 5. So Owen coming down there is a bit short with that one, but it's a good guard. It's pretty well guarded that line. So really, I think the only shot he's got, he can try to tap up the yellow, or he can just draw into the stones that are on the forefoot through the gap. But he needs to get into the forefoot to get a shot. He's got to get into 8 foot to cut down to 2 even. So it's a very difficult shot here for Stuart. See how he does. The stone is on his way. And he's going to do a bit sweeping here to get past the guard. I think he's short. Oh, you know, he's coming through now and he needs to sweep it. No, he's short. And that's a 4. A 4 Tracy Martin. 6-0 after 2 ends. So N3 in this third session game here at the English Mixed Doubles Championships in Dumfries. Score 6-0 for Owen Reid and Annabelle Martin. Their first stone there at this third end on the 12 foot. So a bit short of the ideal position in the middle of the house, but a bit of a blocker out there. And this draw from Stuart's just got pushed off a bit, is it? No, it's just in the centre line. So Ice is drawing quite a lot in this sheet. I don't know if that's catching people out or not, but the Ice is certainly seems to be drawing quite a lot on both hands in this sheet. And this one is now coming a bit heavy, that one, so it's 3 back. A bit of a hack weight draw there. Unless we're trying to take the centre stone out, but they couldn't do that because it wasn't the fourth place stone. So that must be a draw attempt. But as I say, it's just a little bit heavy. And no chance for that to actually draw into the centre of the house. So another attempt there by Reid and Martin to get through to the shot. Just catches the front guard, but they're now lying second and third shots. So I think Brand and Wilcox have to one in there to lie two. Top of the 4 foot would cover the draw to the button. And if you get round behind the guard, the top of the 4, then that'll be useful build to try and get a multiple score at this end. Brand and Wilcox need more than one. They're 6-0 down after 2 ends. They really need to get a couple here at least. So that one's come up a bit short again, but to the guard, I guess. But Owen now looking at ways of trying to get in there. We're using the outer yellow to wick off the outer yellow. Look at the other game in the other sheet between Fowler and Yegi and Pinland-Andal. Bit of a cluttered end there. The blue are lying 2 shots, blue being Fowler and Yegi. So I shall update you the score after the next end on our feature game is finished. So a bit of a chance here now for Stuart Brand, Angela Wilcox, if they can, I think she was asking for barrier weight on this to try and take the blue out. They himself lying 2. And there's also a possible plant at the front there if he wants to try it later on, which could give him quite a big end actually. So the stone coming down now. Stuart's rushed out to sweep it, which implies, oh no, it's running quite wide there. And that, he's next it out anyway. So yellow line 1, and a second, a third, fourth, and fifth shots as well. So depending on what Owen does here, there is quite a possibility, as Stuart's looking at it there, of planting the yellow onto the blue at the front there to push the blue out the back, which is leaving line 5. But obviously Owen's got a stone to play before that. So he can sort of scupper that plan. Let's see where he puts this one. And I imagine he could try and draw around at least the top of the 4 foot, cut them down to 1 shot. So that's not a bad shot from Owen. I think there's still a possibility of playing the plant. I'm sure it's looking now possibly to the yellow onto 2 blues. I'm not sure if that would work. But he would leave his shooter yellow outside of the house. So if he hits the yellow at the right, I suppose he only leaves himself lying the 2. And maybe trying to work out if he can get more than 2 here. He's looking at the plant to the right again. So yeah, so Stuart looks to be going for this yellow onto blue on the front right of the screen, as you can see. It brushes down. Trying to drive the blue through the house and bring the yellow at the top left into play as second shot. Stone's on his way. And Angela's rushing out to sweep it now. He also needs to hit half of it, or is he tight? Is he? No, he's not too bad. If he gets that right. Yeah, in fact, he's possibly got 3, certainly 2, I think. I'm not sure the one in the top right is third shot. They're having a look at it. That's a good shot from Stuart. And they're calling for a measure. So while they're doing that, I'll just nip away and see if I can find out the score on the other sheet. So the score in the other game at the moment is Fowler and Yegi 2, Pinlandandel 1 after 3 ends. So that's obviously quite a close game. At the moment, Fowler and Yegi line 2, so things could change after this next shot. But meanwhile, James Gibb, our chief umpire, how they're measuring, I think this measures for third shot. They've taken the other 2 yellows away that are nearer the centre of the house. And he's now measuring from this angle. And it's always easy to tell. It looks like a yellow, but obviously the overhead view could be very different. So that's the blue measured up. And that looks like a yellow. Yep, that's 3 yellows, I think. So that's very good. Brings Brandon Wilcox right back into this game. So here we are, end 4 in this mixed doubles third round game. Stuart Brand and Andrew Wilcox just picked up a 3 there to half their deficit. And the first stone of this end is going to wreck on the guard, pushing it off a little bit, and we now have 2 yellow guards, not quite centre though. So it looks like Annabelle's going to try and throw another shot through the gap into the centre of the house. So that shot was well short, another guard at the front. So Andrew going to try and draw around those guards onto the one in the centre. The intern taking quite a lot of ice there, so it's a lot more ice I've seen them taking in this game so far. So the guard's quite close to centre, but obviously the ice has started to draw quite a lot. And they just delivered our stone. Stuart got to rush out to sweep. Still, it's quite wide out there, and yeah, it's quite heavy, I think, as well. So that's going to be out through the back. Not much of a draw at hack weight there, as you can see, just about 18 inches to 2 feet maybe draw there at hack weight, which is what you expect, perhaps out there, but yeah, a bit less weight would have been needed for that ice that Stuart gave her. And here's another attempt at a draw, and another attempt which goes through the back. We seem to have quite a few of these hack weight draws in this game. Not given the chance, it's not a chance really. Whoever's throwing the draw really needs to give the sweepers a chance to help the stone along. You play too heavy, there's no chance. They're obviously missing the professional or the amateur side. Well, in this case, the professional side is leave it short, allow the sweeper to drag it in. The amateur side, obviously, to throw it through the back. So this is a bit better, a bit of sweeping this one, but yeah, it's not drawing much at all there. It's still staying quite straight out there. The weight is not too bad. Oh, back 8, back 12. I think Stuart overswept that a little bit, but again, there's not much draws there. Maybe he needs to give a bit less ice. You really have to get just past the guard, I think, at the front to get anywhere close to the centre, and that's the tricky, is getting that precision to get past that guard by maybe a couple of inches only. This again is probably too heavy. It's actually luckily it's actually be able to take the yellow stone out from the back of the house. I think it's still lying there though, but nothing much has changed. Still blue 1, yellow 2. And again, I think the draw is still there. It's really a case of playing the right weight and the right ice to get it just past that guard. There are probably many of you watching who are saying, yes, we know that, John, but then not everybody watching perhaps is a curler, so bear with me if I perhaps state the obvious, but we're obviously, as well as talking to dedicated curlers, we're talking to those who are less involved in the game. So Stuart's coming down this side. I think he's trying to tap the yellow up, but that's just staying out wide. This is unusual in that the place that's stone in the middle there, the blue stone, has not been touched or moved at all during this end. And the rate of going, it could be the counting shot at the end of this end. You will be able to watch, obviously, mixed doubles curling from the Olympics when they start in February. The mixed doubles involving 8 nations will be the first curling of the games, and it's followed afterwards by the men and women, involving 10 nations each. And currently at the moment in Czech Republic, they are playing the Olympic qualifying event to decide the last 2 places for the Olympic men and women's competition. So a draw there, a little bit to the back of the house. It's an early second shot. But again, just a bit heavy in the draw there. Stuart's looking at this. I think there still is a draw around that yellow guard to the blue. It's just a case of getting the weight right. I'm not sure there's anything on that side. But he wants to try and tap up a yellow. If he just opens the gap up, he gives himself an opportunity. Although, in fact, this is possibly his last stone. I'm trying to count the number of stones in play. There are 4 there, and I know we've got 1 yellow through the back, I think. So this is Stuart's last stone of this end. Stuart out the hack, Angela out to sweep as he sends this one down. Hoping, I think, for the tap up on the yellow. It's a fairly precise shot this to try and get it right to the angle in the blue. And yes, it's just not heavy enough. Yeah, it's just not heavy enough. So Owen now has a draw for 3, I believe. Well, Annabelle or Owen, whoever's throwing the last stone this end, has, I think, a draw for 3. We should make it a 9-3 half-time lead as they head off shortly for their 4-minute break. This one's been spectacle. It needs to receive a little bit more to get to circle, and it's just short. So we wasted opportunity there, really. But still, 2 blues makes the score 8-3 at the half-time break. 4 ends gone, score 8-3 for Rees and Martin. While we're in the half-time break for this game, for the other game, Fowler and Yegi took a 5 at the fourth end, and they now lead that game 7-1 after 4 ends. Some of you watching who maybe wondering where mixed doubles came from and why it suddenly appeared on the scene, we have to go back a number of years to the Continental Cup, which is the Ryder Cup equivalent, should we say, of curling, where America, or the Americas, USA, Canada, take on a team from the rest of the world. And when the first Continental Cup was proposed, it was decided to be more than just teams of 4 against teams of 4, and the idea of mixed doubles was invented. At that time, the teams were allowed 2 sweepers as well as the players, and mixed doubles is still played in the Continental Cup, which is really found a home in Las Vegas. So when curling was accepted into Olympics in '98, since that time we've been trying to find another way of getting curling into the Olympics to get more coverage, and the idea was we try and promote mixed doubles to be the next Olympic curling sport. As with all Olympic disciplines, the IOC are very keen not to increase the number of competitors or officials, and so people said, why mixed doubles and not mixed fours? Well, mixed doubles requires half the number of players, and as far as IOC are concerned, the fewer extra the better. It took a number of years before the IOC eventually agreed to have mixed doubles in the Olympics, but they said they will have 8 countries. Sorry, that was just the bell here they have at Dumfries to signify the end of a curling session. The IOC said they will have 8 countries, but they did allow us to bring along 16 new players to represent those 8 countries. And considering there are now over 50 member nations of the World Curling Federation, that's quite a small number of teams which are allowed to participate. So the World Championships for the last couple of years in mixed doubles decide the ranking points for those countries which would actually go to the Olympics. And Great Britain finished 9th in those ranking points, and so our first reserve, shall we say, and depending on what happens with the Russian team, whether the Russian team still goes to the Olympics, then Britain may have a chance of actually participating in the mixed doubles at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. There are moves to try and increase the number of teams that we have at the Olympics from 8 to maybe 12 or 16. But as I said, the IOC are very keen to reduce the numbers of accreditations and beds that are required to be provided for by the organising committees. So we shall wait and see what the situation is after Pyeongchang. Obviously, if it is a success in Pyeongchang, the mixed doubles, and it draws new people into curling arena to watch the curling, then we have a better chance of getting more people or more nations into the Olympics from 2022 onwards. But anyway, back to this game, and we are setting up a power play here. Bit of help there for Anna Fowler to set the stones up, but the power play has been set up and by Brandon Wilcox. You're allowed to set one power play per game when you have the hammer, or when you have the choice, because you don't have to take the hammer. You are allowed to give the hammer away. In mixed doubles, which we want to do in certain occasions. Because in fact, what you have the choice of doing, you have the choice of placing the stones, the losing team, and if they decide the stone at the front of the house is always the team which goes first. So the blue stone at the front of the house, the blue team are going first. But they could have turned the stones round, those who were placing the stones, and they could have decided to change the order. So there's the blue stone come up, trying to get around that guard, but just a bit short there, just doubling the guard really. So it makes it difficult to get round to the yellow with the next shot. If you're going to try doing around the guard, that makes doubles of this. It's always useful to try with a bit more weight, because the tick shot is also useful here, just to tick it out of the way a little bit. Or even if you draw too much, to actually push your own blue guard, in this case, into the house. But the shot now from Brandon Wilcox, well, they could try and draw around those guards, or they could, as I've said before, they could put up a centre guard and give themselves something else to draw around with their last stone. They are 5 down. They need to get a few shots on the board here. Looks like this could be a centre guard coming up here, in fact. So centre guard just bites the 12 foot, and the 12 foot totally now. So that's now 2 shots for Brandon Wilcox, and again they still can't hit. Reese and Martin can't hit with this stone. They are going to try and draw around their guards there, and draw in behind and lie in the 8 foot and nice shot. The World Mixed Doubles is, of course, an open competition still, and that means that whoever wins this weekend here in the English Mixed Doubles will be guaranteed a place in the World Mixed Doubles in Sweden in April. That may not last for much longer, because obviously with more and more countries entering the World Mixed Doubles, it becomes a very ponderous and large competition. And there are a number of proposals being proposed to alter the system to maybe have a qualification competition, and certainly the WCF will be discussing this over the next few months to take back to their annual congress in September to look at ways of running the World Mixed Doubles Championship. Now there's a stone there from Reese and Martin, which is coming right a bit too far. Came around the guards okay, but just 6 feet too far, going to the back of the 12 foot. And now Brandon Wilcox is going to try and follow that shot and at least stop in the 8 foot. So Stuart Rush out there to try and give the stone a helping hand. Maybe it's light or tight. Some harsh swing on it. It's going to get past the guards. This could be a good shot if he just stops now. This could be a good shot, very good shot. I wouldn't take it too far, but that's a very good shot round there now. And now we have 3 yellows lying, so this game is not over yet. That's like with mixed doubles, you can quickly get back up with a 3 or a 4. 3s and 4s are far more common in mixed doubles than they are in normal 4-man curling. So good attempt there from Reese and Martin, the airline second shot at the back of the house there. And we have another strong coming in here from Brandon Wilcox. Actually needs to be bending a bit more, but is pushed in. It's lying short stone now. But I think Owen could probably take that if he wants to. And roll across behind the cover on the left hand side. And if he hits the front yellow on the right hand side and just get a little roll, he'd be lying short behind the yellow guard. If he rolls a bit further, he's still lying short behind the two blue guards. So I think the obvious shot here is to hit and roll. And it is Owen who's going to be playing this shot. Well, he hit it okay, but he rolled the wrong way, really. So it's still yellow lying one. I think Stuart's going to try and see if he can get the front yellow onto the back blue there. Could be a risky shot because he could take his own yellow out, or he certainly could try the tap up. Doesn't see the blue out, just come back and tap it back a little bit and possibly get a 3. But he's going to try to tap in to lie 2. This was a back 8, back ring weight shot just to tap that front yellow into a scoring position. In fact, he's come right round the guard, Angela. They come right round the guard. Nice shot, not quite hidden. But certainly again, if Owen tries to hit this out, it goes to the left. He's danger of jamming onto his own blue over there. I was looking at the front yellow as well, whether that's counting or not. So the decision here, can't really get to the inside edge of the yellow to get behind the guard. You can get to nose, and you can get to the right hand side, but that, as I say, is fraught with danger. He might push it onto his own blue, lying on the edge of the 8 foot. So decision time, he's quite well up here. He's 8-3 up at the moment, so he doesn't need to do much risking. He could just play a gent he can actually even freeze in that front yellow just to give away a 1, but he doesn't need to be too risky. He's got a 5-shot lead. And his blue, which is lying at the left there, is quite safe, I think, as long as he doesn't take it himself. Maybe he was trying just to come to the face of the yellow. He's just pushed the yellow at the front of a little bit and maybe set up a little plant there for Stuart to try and drive the yellow at the front onto the blue at the back and pick up 4. I think Stuart's got to be thinking about that because he is 5 shots down and he needs to get that blue at the back. So if he can drive that blue onto yellow, onto black blue, then that would give him a definite 4. He's looking here at something with this one. I'm not sure what that's going to do. I think the front blue onto yellow was a shot I would try and play. Oh, he's going to try. Oh, I think he'd be a bit cautious here. I really think he's 5 shots down. He has to do something a bit more daring than that. Unless he thinks he's lying 3 already. And maybe the front yellow on the 8 foot is actually lying 3rd shot, which means draw for 4. Maybe a good opportunity. They make it into measure yet again. Said he's lying 2, possibly 3, so this is a draw for 3, possibly 4. Well, after that, he's trying the yellow into blue, and that is a great shot from Stuart. That's a super shot there. That gives him a definite count of 4. Well, that's a great shot there. And a well-deserved and well-worked 4, which was also on their power play. So that brings them right back into the game. It's now Rhys Martin 8, Brian Wilcox 7. So will we now see Owen putting up a power play? Looks like it is, yep. Quite often the case, and makes doubles that people seem to have one power play, the next day have another power play. So 6th end play, 8-7 to Rhys and Martin. 15 shots scored in 5 ends, kind of typical mixed doubles at times, 2-4, 3-2-4. Lots of stones in play. And I'm afraid in another game, having lost a 5 at the 4th end, Harry, Pinnell, me and Dale have lost a 4 at the 5th end. The score is now 11-1 for Fowler and Yege, and they're also lying 2 at the 6th end. The teams have to play a minimum of 6 ends, so unless there's a miracle here, I think this game will be quickly finished. If the score is 13-1, of course, then they could still tie with 2 6s, but I think they will shake hands after this current end. Here in this end, this power play, Brandon Wilcox has put up a centre guard. So we'll see what Reese and Martin's reaction to that is. They are trying to get round it, I think. No, they're trying to draw to the other side. They just put a corner guard up on the other side. Or maybe they're trying to draw to the house as it's a bit short. But yeah, I think it's a good call. Sure, she could tap that yellow in, straight back behind guards. He's got to try and steal this end and try and steal at least two. So another guard up there, so it's trying to get a bit of a messy end out here out the front. This looks like another back ring weight, hack weight draw there. So again, Stuart's going to try and push this yellow up. Again, the problem with this ice is it tends to run straight if you put some weight on it. If it's slow, you've got to sweep it, it stays straight. So it's quite tricky to get the right ice here. I think he may need to give less ice and try and sweep it onto the line. Okay, this is not bad for weight, and it's coming around now. It's going to be pushing up pretty well, but maybe not to short position. No, it's just not quite enough weight. Open the centre up. So Owen's now got a chance of getting one in early if he wants to. Try to come round on the out turn. And the other game has just finished with a score of 13-1 for Fowler and Yegi over Andel and Pinnell. So that's Fowler and Yegi. A good day for them today. 3 games, 3 wins. That's a better draw weight there from Reese and Martin, so they're now lying 2 shots in the house. Nowhere near trying to get around the guard, I'm afraid, still. Stuart now trying to push the yellow up again. I mean, I think he could probably get around the guard, around that yellow, rather than pushing it up. But maybe that's his first option. Draw first of all. If it's tight, get the tap. But there's plenty of room to, I think, to get around that yellow and draw to 4 foot. Well, it looks as though from Stuart's hand movement there that Andrews really played it wide on the out turn, so it depends the weight, but if you had to sweep it, it'll go run straight, he's got to reckon a guard. He's watching quite wide there with that shot, because basically, yeah, that's done nothing. Set block the centre up, and Stuart blowing a bit there, having a hard time. He did a good last end, picked up a 4, and now he could be losing a 2 again. Or more, especially since Owen has the last stone. And this looks like a far better shot coming in now. That looks like a good way. If you just keep it coming now, it'll draw out behind the guard. That's a great draw there. Behind the guard, in front of the tee. Now they're line 3. You know, I still believe there's a draw through between the yellows at the front of the house there. On the left-hand side, you look at them. Yeah, there's still a gap there of about a couple of stone widths. I'm sure I can get through there to the tee. Just make sure you don't throw it wide and don't have to sweep it. Basically, look at tap off again, but really you should draw through that gap. The stones are lined up for him to be always heading in the same direction. The line in echelon from centre out to the bottom right. There's a good line there to draw around behind and end up just where he's got his brush. It's a case of you've got to really focus in this case on playing the weight. I think also having somebody in the head there, because you know, in this case the line is critical, and if you have somebody in the head giving you that surety of where you're aiming at, then it's a lot easier to concentrate the effort on your weight and making sure that you give it the right way to get at least to the house and into the centre of the circle. So the stone is on its way. And see, this time he's going the other direction. He's going the other direction, push the yellow in, and he's just going to draw too much. He's going to come to the blue, and he's just rubbed off, and he's missed the blue as well. He just rubbed off the front yellow and took it away from the blue. Chance now for Owen to draw and get his 4 back again, I think. I think this is the last stone coming up. He's got lots of room. Play towards the edge of the 12 foot on the right hand side, and he's got plenty of room. He's got a back here, backing stone as well. So he can play T plus, knowing that he should still lie for 3 and hopefully for 4. So it's a topsy-turvy game, this. 4's being exchanged. And if he gets this, it'll be 12-7. But certainly, at the moment, it's lying 11-7. But still 2 ends to go. So here's the stone coming in now. It looks pretty good. That's going to be easily into the 8 foot. And that's Good 4 for Reese and Martin. Takes the score back up to 12-7. So lots of missed opportunities in this game to cut down the end scores, and that's why we're getting quite a few high scores here. That's our third 4 of the game in 6 ends. And every end has been full of stones in play. And we now have 2 ends left. The score 12-7 for Reese. And both of their power plays, so we're back to standard game. Stones in the middle. And the first stone will be played by Annabelle Martin, who will try to draw around that centre guard onto the one in the house. So sorry for the break there, just taking a comfort break. And we're back here live again, and I see if I had a bit away that Rees Martin are lying 1 and they're lying 3rd and 4th, but the yellow at the back was pretty safe from being moved unless this one does it. This has been pushing up the blue at the front onto the blue. That's another great shot there. That's a really good shot there from Annabelle Martin to push that one into the house. And now blue lie 2, and this is looking pretty tricky for Stuart. Again, he's having to promote stones. There's going to be a barrier weight at least here coming from Angela Wilcox. Stuart needs to open up the front. He needs to get stones in for his last, access to his last stone. So again, if he gets a bit of good fortune, he may get the 2 blues in the middle out and leave himself lying a couple. Stone coming down now is looking not bad. He's got the blue, Ah, that's a great shot from Angela. We'll take the back yellow out, but leaves herself lying 1 in the centre of the house. That's a pretty good shot there. The back yellow unfortunately did go, and so can Owen do anything with this front blue to leave himself lying 3. So here, Owen and Annabelle coming down to the delivery end for this stone. There's Annabelle to throw. And this is what she's facing. I think he'd put a tap off of the blue. Again, they're 5 shots up. They're ready to do anything risky here. There's only 1 yellow stone in play at the moment, so just a case of consolidating the position, I think. Maybe push the blue up a little bit, or make it harder for Bran Wilcox to get another stone into the house. This is coming up with a tap up. It's a bit short though. It's a guard, so still a draw around there for Brandon Wilcox to come round again, leaving the nobody on the brush and going off to start sweeping at the far end. Stone coming down now. I was wondering if Stuart was going to go for the back one there. He seemed to imply that he was. I don't think he was. I know he uses the backer, but he is just going. Oh, he's fine. So that means that Brandon Wilcox are line 2, and that's the end of the end. And that's thanks to that great shot from Angela Wilcox. That's a 2 for Brandon Wilcox. It's 12-9 for Rees Martin going into the last end. So last end in regular time of this game, 8th end, Rees Martin 12, Brian Wilcox 9, and the hammer with Rees Martin. So the first stone coming in from Stuart Brand. That's going to just roll off the shot in the house, but that's one of the better draws we've seen in this game. Again, it can't be taken out by Rees, so he can just put one on top of it in the house. So Stuart and Angela have got to try and get 3 stones in there guarded to force another extra end. This is their second game of the day, and they had an extra end of their first game against Fowler and Yege. We will be back again tomorrow. We have 3 more sessions tomorrow. Practice starts at 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock, so we should be on the air at 11:20, 3:20 and 7:20. And there's a great shot coming in here now. And that's a very good shot there. Right in as asked for. Throws onto yellow. And Stuart's got to try and just follow that in, I think, and try and push it back a little bit to give himself a bit more space to get rid of the blues. But really just back ring weight, or even less than that, just move the yellow back a couple of feet. As I said, we'll be back tomorrow at approximately 11:20, 3:20 and 7:20. The 7:20 session, we'll certainly have the pictures, but there may not be any commentary, because I will be playing in the English Seniors Championship, which starts tomorrow evening at the same time. But we'll try and make sure that we have the pictures for you to watch. So Angela trying to follow in that great stone there from Annabelle, but this is wrecking on the guard. Obviously a bit tight away or a bit light. Pushing the yellow up, bringing it to his house, but no, that's not great at all. And I think we've got to put another in there. I wouldn't just put another one in the 4 foot, on the button. And really with 3 required by Brian Wilcox, they've got 2 at the front, which they probably couldn't use to count towards those 3. 1 behind the blues, which if they tried something could possibly go out. So really they need all their 3 remaining stones to be lying short, and that's going to mean all 3 stones within the 1 foot. So at the moment I would say the odds favour Rees and Martin in this case. What they don't want to do is they don't want to disturb that back yellow, so this blue one that's coming in now has to be either short of the 4 foot or right up against it on a perfect freeze. They don't really want to move the yellow because that releases the blues for the Brian Wilcox team to hit. Coming in now, it's looking very good actually. It's just it is in fact slightly heavy perhaps. It is going to reduce that yellow out the back there. So, good stone. Can't quite see where it's ended up, for Stuart is standing in the way. But it's a very good stone actually. It's perfectly frozen on top of that other blue one. That's an excellent stone there. And really requires, well, any hit here is going to roll the yellow. The shoe is going to really roll out unless they come past the guard by nothing at the front. So it seems like a heavy shot, but Stone's coming down. It's actually going to just take the front guard off, but really that is not much use to Brandon Wilcox. Last time now got 2 stones out of play at the back. Still 1 stone at the front, which I'm sure Reese and Marsh will avoid. So, and if Owen Reese can just put another, repeat his last shot, put another blue in the top of that, 2 blues already there, then I think this game is well over. Oh, he's actually going for the back yellow, which is an interesting shot, yes, and in fact, considering that yellow means, yes, Stuart can try and use that front yellow, but he's going to leave a shooter out at the front of the house, and if he gets this wrong, that'll be game over. Handshakes all round because that is game over. Reese and Martin have run Brandon Wilcox out of stones, so the final score will be 12-9 to Reese and Martin. Their second win today, and they'll be back on tomorrow morning against the Taylors, because tomorrow morning Fowler and Jaggy have a bye, have their first bye of the competition. So tomorrow morning's games are Pinnell Andell against Brandon Wilcox and Reese Martin against Taylor Taylor. And I think the latter one will be the one which will be our feature game tomorrow. That will be on sheet F in this case. And that will be at 11:20. Start broadcast 11:20 tomorrow morning. So thank you for watching today. You've seen 3 varying games of mixed doubles curling here from the English Mixed Doubles Championship in Dumfries. And 3 more games tomorrow, and 3 more games on Saturday. So lots more colours to come here from Dumfries in English Mixed Doubles. Hope you enjoyed it. This is John Brown signing off for today, and have a good night. Good night.